about all of the above. And so, what ends up happening is your nervous system's in overdrive. And a big part of healing is learning to get back into your body. I've actually found deeply that each of the three insecure attachment cells struggles at the beginning to identify their emotions in real time, which is a form of dissociation. Like, people often think of dissociation as being this really traumatic, catatonic thing, but it's not. People can spend a lot of time in mild dissociation. So we do a couple of things. We take people through a process of retraining their nervous system to do things like completion cycle work and a lot of that sort of polyvagal theory work to actually practice getting into parasympathetic nervous system over time, so it becomes your new baseline. But we also, one of my favorite practices, and I was saying this to you before we recorded, is when I started really diving deep into a lot of this work, I did 13 different certifications and everything from like CB to cognitive behavioral therapy to neurolinguistic programming and hypnosis and just all this stuff. But I was actually like really rooted in a lot of studying all different religions. Like, I was really obsessed with spirituality and on sort of a spiritual journey. And I've always loved where those two things intersect. And I remember actually reading years ago one of Eckhart Tolle's books, and it was all about the pain body. And at the time I was reading these case studies on these individuals, and they go into the researchers were taking individuals and putting them in fMRI scanners, and they were getting them in these fMRI scanners to recall triggering experiences where they felt upset. And then they were watching their brain activity. And what they found is that participants' brain activity, when they would feel triggered, would drain out of the neocortex regions, like the prefrontal cortex region of the brain, and into the reptilian brain. And all this activity would come there. And we've all seen people when they're triggered, they become kind of the like reptilian animalistic version of themselves. And so all of a sudden, people would be sitting there in this sort of panicked state. And what they would find is that people would start being dysregulated. Like, they would be in sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. They would see their heart rate increase, their